Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we're back. It's Robby Lochner. You know him from The Guitarist and many more functions with the Jack Russell Great White Band. Robby, man, I know you got some downtime. You got some studios right there. You got some tools these days. Tell us about DILF, DILF.
DILF USA band, but it's DILF USA. Yeah, it's a side project I've been working on with Jesse Blaze and Dan McNay from Jack Russell's Great White. We also originally had Dickie from Jack Russell's Great White, but he's no longer in Jack Russell's Great White and no longer in DILF. So we got a new guy we're working in, but we got basically we're just in the downtime. We're playing covers. We'll play a couple shows with some covers, and we started doing some original music. We're just looking to build this thing up, and we've got actually quite a bit of songs coming down the pike, actually a lot. And fortunately, we've been able to kick stuff out quick. So we did the first song called Shit the Bed, and that one took a little bit longer. The track was written in super fast, like 30 minutes, recorded it the next week, done, ready, but the video took us way too long. There was issues and it took too long to get out. And then I shouldn't say too long, but it did because it's based on the Johnny Depp trial. And the video is funny. I mean, if you look up DILF USA band, it's Shit the Bed, or just Shit the Bed. It's a good, funny video. The band's kind of original styles like punk with some cool guitar playing in it. And that's kind of where we're going, like punkish-ish, but rock. And just catchy hooks and just fun band. So we put out this month, we put out a song called Countdown to Christmas. And it's kind of in that vein, but it's really pretty. And then it goes into almost a Green Day-ish feel, and then real pretty, and then ends with a hurrah. But it's a real pretty Christmas song. And that one came together really fast, and a really nice production on the video, and well worth seeing in the Christmas season and adding to a Christmas list. If you've got Christmas list of songs, pop it in there. It's on everything, all the downloads, the usual stuff, iTunes, whatever, streaming sites. Also on Bandcamp. YouTube is where you'll see the video. Facebook, TikTok, what else? Instagram. The web page is still to come, but it'll be up soon. So it's a fun band with some talented people, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. So when there's downtime with Jack, I'm just working away because I just want to keep moving. And there's something special about the band, I feel. And Jesse's super talented singer, songwriter, and just fun to work with. We have a good time. He comes in here and sings, and we always have a good time. In the video, if you haven't seen the video, gotta go see it. The Christmas one, or both of them really. The Christmas one is really, really well done for really how we did it super fast. It happened really quick and came together really well. A lot of people are like, wow, that's a big budget production. I was like, well, we pretty much did it for nothing. But it's just a teamwork. A lot of people joined the team and made it happen.
Yeah, of course, Southern California, you got so many, cool locations or people that might, their day job, they might work on videos or movies or something.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's great to keep your creative chops, honed, and shake it up a little bit. I mean, when you really look at so many of these classic bands we love, there's a punk energy in Cheap Trick and Guns N' Roses and
Absolutely.
Motley Crue and a bunch of the bands. I mean, when Motorhead came out, I mean, I just talking about AC/DC. I mean, when they opened for BOC, people are looking at them like, are these guys punk? Are they metal? This guy's in a fucking schoolboy outfit, man. What is up with that? And Bon Scott was just in their face, man. He would wrap that mic cord around his fucking forearm, and Bon was the dude. I mean, I definitely had a tear in my eye hearing that he had passed away, but boy, did they rebound fast and hard. There's still a lot of people say, oh man, I prefer the Bon Scott days, but again, that's like Van Halen. Hey, enjoy them both. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna like Highway to Hell and Back in Black? What's your problem?
Right.
One guy changed and you're you got an attitude.
Yeah, that's
These
weird.
people don't have a choice if they die or quit the band. They want to keep the band going.
Yeah, and they should. And then there's people who, if they don't accept it, oh well, there's people who will. So that's just the way it rolls. You can't worry about it. I loved it when the change. I was surprised when I heard Back in Black. I went, whoa. Well, I thought these guys are going to be done, and now they're bigger than ever. Or, with Dio joined Sabbath, is like same thing, same reaction. Or Sammy Hagar with Van Halen is like, whoa. It can happen. You could get lightning in a bottle. Look at Dio, moved on and did Dio, and boy, he hit lightning in a bottle. Vinny Appice happened to be in two of those, being in Black Sabbath and then going on to Dio, and it's like, man, he hit lightning in a bottle twice. And that's so rare, but it happens.
Yeah, no, it's just amazing. I mean, Mutt Lange really came into his own. I mean, he was kicking ass on Highway to Hell, but it seemed like he took it to a whole nother level with the production of Back in Black.
Yep.
And it's amazing they had those songs ready to go. I was like, Bon barely died a few months ago. You got a new singer, a new album, and again, we look back on it, it's the biggest selling rock album in history. There's not one rock album that has outsold Back in Black. It's insane.
Yeah,
but
that's a great record.
For those that love Bon, it is truly a tribute to him. They're Back in Black in mourning, for legendary Bon Scott.
And what a record! What a record!
He was a guy like Lemmy, man. He lived what he sang about. He lived it. He died in a car choking on his own vomit, as harsh as that sounds. I mean, he went out like he came in. Like I said, I worked with him on the Highway to Hell tour, and Bon was a partier, man. That dude, after the show, the girls, the booze, he was like the audience. Those guys were just like, okay, there might be security in front of me, maybe there isn't. Matter of fact, I sat in the front row a couple times just to experience it, and Angus would be like sweating on me. He'd be, headbanging so hard on the guitar. I'm sitting in the front, like getting drenched in his sweat. He was just a maniac. And like I said, if people hadn't seen that before, they're used to some guitarists like standing on the stage playing, and they're like, man, is this guy okay? What kind of music is this? But that's when they were opening, when they were headlining, you fucking know what you're going to see. This is AC/DC. But, they were supposed to originally be on that California World Music Festival. I don't know if you saw, there were some early ads like in the LA Times. No, and I don't know if they were in that program or not, but for some reason, and it may have something to do with Bon or something, but they pulled out of that show. But you could imagine, on top of everything else that was on that show, if AC/DC was on that too.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But yeah, I remember UFO, they went on at like 3 p.m. or something. It was light. It was very light outside. But yeah, Brownsville and God, a bunch of bands on that bill. Yeah, no, that was amazing. So now what kind of studio setup do you have there? What kind of software or program do you use to record your music?
I'm using Pro Tools, the latest edition, whatever. Pro Tools 2022 is how they do it now. But so it's all in the box. But I mean, I've got Avalon mic pre's. I've got Demeter. What else do we got here? Focusrite, Precision 8, Vintech, and I'm using Lynx, the Aurora for my 2 channels. And then when I need to do drums, I use the Lynx Hilo for the 2 channels, and the Lynx Aurora if I need 16 more for drums when I do drums. And then just a ton of mics, all good mics, and blue collar cables, which are high quality cables for everything. Bluecollarcables.com. I use them for everything pretty much exclusively. If I just reach over here and grab a blue collar cable, I mean, they're really good. Uses all the highest quality stuff.
And we see the Marshalls and all that, but I know technology is radically changing the recording business, and even live on stage, man. I'm hearing more and more about the guitarists that have the whole amp in a box kind of thing.
Yeah, the Kemper. I've got one of those sitting right to my left, and I use that for quick demos like I did today for these guys who are doing this thing at the Rainbow. They got a show called the Rock Lounge they're going to be doing every week, and they wanted me to write the intro song, and so I put it together real quick. But they liked it, so I'm going to come back now and do real drums and use one of the real amps. I've got 4 or 3 Marshalls in here. You probably can't see the other ones down here, and an EVH, and I've got a couple more out in there. But basically the head's sitting here. I have a speaker cabinet in an ISO booth in the other room. And so I can mic it and then run everything and play all of it in here.
Now, what advice do you have to young bands, young songwriters coming up? Because, it seems like with the digital recording and everything, it's a lot easier for a rapper or a pop singer or a duo or this and that. But for a true rock band, again, it's playing live drums and all this. What advice do you have to them as far as what you've learned from this technology, how they can, not sit there and wait for a so-called deal and a budget, but they can, start really fleshing out their ideas at home?
Yeah, that's what you do. You got to do it all yourself. That's really how you'll probably get the deal. If you do everything yourself and it's quality, and you start getting attention, you start building a fan base and stuff, and you're a young band, you'll probably get the labels coming to you. Even in the day, it was the same way. People would do their demos way back when, or put out a vinyl, and if they built a following, a lot of times the labels would follow. Nowadays it's kind of the same thing, but you could do it all yourself, and if you put it out on all the digital domains, and if you can start blowing up on your own, there's the other side of it, that you don't really need a label. Yeah, they got the money to get you out there more, and maybe it makes sense, but I think there's a lot of people who are having a lot of success without it. What's the point of having the label? Because the label's always dictated, oh, you got to look this way, you got to be this age, you got to have this, you got to have this, you got to write it like this. Who needs the label?
And then, of course, the dreaded recoupment. You may never see a royalty check ever. Yeah, Metallica was independent coming out. The original Great White was independent. Rat was independent.
Sure.
Dokken went to Germany and made an independent record. I mean, so much of that really started independently. Steeler, which is the band I managed, and it was just exciting times. It's like, wait a minute, there's studios everywhere. Back then, though, it was vinyl. So you had to press some vinyl, and then cassettes came into play. But those early days of Great White, boy, they pressed their stuff and got it on KMET and KLOS, and forced the labels to come to them.
Yep, that's I think it's still the same now, but it's easier. You could put your own studio together instead of having to pay money to go into somebody's studio. You can learn to do it all yourself, and then you could just put out music at your own whim, and you might as well do that. I mean, putting together a studio, I still spent a lot of money putting this together, but it's nothing like what guys were spending in the day to get a studio.
Oh, sure. Now, what's the bare bones? What kind of price tag would you put on a basic system? Not what you've done, because you've taken it to the next level, but to have the basic programs and stuff where you can record and get decent sounds at home. What's the base price of that?
Boy, that's hard to say, but I would say, a couple grand, you could probably do it. Probably, maybe like $5,000 or so. You get yourself, it depends. If you're trying to do drums too, gets a little trickier. But even nowadays, you probably don't even need to do that. You could hire somebody or go in and do drums somewhere, drop it in, and do everything else on your own, all your vocals, all your guitar overdubs, everything. Or you could even program your drums. That kind of sucks, but people do that.
Yeah, I'm hearing some big producers coming out with like drum samples and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because big live drums. A Vinny Appice sound is not that easy to get. So
no, Vinny's very particular on his sound. I played a few shows with him, and I did the Appice brother things with him and Carmine, and Vinny they both would tear their kits apart, and Vinny was just, they would tear the kit apart and just redo the whole thing. I was like, wow, this guy does it himself, and he has a sound. His playing, there's a sound to his playing, and there's a sound to his sound, and he knows what he wants, and he goes after and gets it. So to get that in the box, I think the only way you'll get that, or like Carmine's sound, is you need to take his samples, and they both have their own studios. So you probably could I don't know if they've ever done it, but maybe they have, do their own samples, and they could put them out and market it. Hey, you want Vinny or Carmine's kick drum sound? Here's their kick drum. Here's their snare. Carmine does a snare, and then he does like a snare to the side, and he's got a thing he does as well. So it's like either one of those guys could probably sell their sound and make a little bit of money. I wonder if they've ever thought about that.
Yeah, I'm seeing it more and more. I saw Kevin Churko, the big producer out of the Hideout in Vegas, doing Five Finger and got all that, Corey Taylor and everybody, and he's selling his sounds. But Ryan Green, a producer right up the block from me here, who worked with Tesla and Megadeth and everybody, he's got drum samples. Yeah, he's really big on the drums. But yeah, no, that's amazing. I mean, technology's changed, but it still comes down to a great song.
That's right.
I got to tell people, yeah, you can make a lot of noise. You can post something on CD Baby or Spotify. It doesn't mean you're going to make a penny from it. It doesn't mean you're going to shake up the world. But, there are no shortcuts to greatness. But, I look at some of these legendary artists, they've been around forever, and they still work on their songwriting.
Yeah.
And Jack is doing that. I mean, everybody from, I don't care from what era they are. Mick Jagger is still working on his songwriting. Keith Richards,
Oh yeah.
Angus Young, man, you can never phone it in. And some people laugh and they say, oh, AC/DC's been putting out the same album for all these years. It's a glorious fucking album, isn't it? I mean, to sound different, playing those same chords, it's an art form.
It is.
And they've been doing it up in Vancouver. So many of the bands in the 80s went up there to Little Mountain Sound, the Aerosmith and Bon Jovi's and Motley Crue's, and everybody was going up there. And they used to record that drum sound. They had like a warehouse. They had like it was like a loading dock or something. And they would just send a signal out there and bounce it around and pick it up on the mics. And you listen to those drums on those albums from that era, those, big comeback Aerosmith albums or Bon Jovi. They're huge drums.
Yep. That's right.
But yeah, no, that's amazing, man. Robbie, you've got a hell of a setup there. Go out and check out DILF, the videos on YouTube, all your social media, DILF. You can only imagine what that stands for, but
deeply involved, loving fathers.
Oh man, look at that. It's nice and clean. It's nice and sanitized, but shit the bed isn't, Amber Heard, you got it coming, it's pretty crazy, man. The Hollywood vampires are still alive. By the way, at the Rainbow, where are they doing that lounge? Is that the front lounge or the back
They're
bar?
They're going to do it outside at the porch, on the porch.
Okay. That front lounge right by Sunset.
No,
back?
towards the back. Yeah.
The back. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It should be pretty cool. Razor Ray DiCarlo. He used to be on KNAC. He lives here, but he a program director, DJ over at KFMA and KLPX in Tucson, and then Ted Shred, who's Ted's just done, I don't know, a lot of stuff. I can't even name it all, but a lot of stuff, and knows a ton of people. So they're putting this together, and they're going to bring people in and just have this lounge, and I'll go in there and be a guest one of the times and hang with them and just basically tell rock stories and have different guests come in and talk about their,
we'll be listening to that big theme song, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, man, I heard it from Robbie before I heard the damn thing.
Yeah.
But so they'll do small performances, because obviously they're not going to have a big stage there or anything.
Oh no, there's no performance. It's just going to be on the couch, and then having
interviews,
and then an audience, and then just going live for 2 hours every Sunday. So
and how soon does that start?
It's probably, it looks like they're pushing for February 1st, because it takes a lot to get it together. They got sponsors, they got all kinds of stuff going on, that it's just to get it all lined up and all working, their logo. There's just the whole 9 yards, everything that they've got. There's a whole thing that they're putting together, and it costs them every month or every week to be in there. like a lot more money than I would have thought.
So,
I'm like,
so
wow.
Mikey's got a tab for him. They're not carte blanche over there. They got a bill at the end of the night.
They do, but they work something out because they kind of know some of the people there, the godson and
Okay.
Mario's kids.
We'll look forward to that. But when everybody go check out DILF, check out Jack Russell's Great White, new music coming, the memoirs, new single.
Yep.
Man, what a treat it's been, Robbie. Such a pleasure, man. Can't wait to come out and see you guys at a show coming up. And it's so fun reminiscing about the 70s, you know, and the 80s.
Yeah.
I always say the 70s was really the blueprint for everything that came afterwards. The 60s kind of warmed up, and Zeppelin was kind of the into flower power into like the hard rock that we know today. And the 70s, man, what a decade. The legendary albums, the bands, nobody tried to sound like each other. Everybody had their own lane.
Yeah, totally.
Labels pretty much let them do what they did best. And
yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a time for sure.
Yeah. Well, till our next chat, man. Thank you so much. Best to your family and Jack and everybody. Have a happy holidays and
happy holidays and
let's make it a good new year. Thanks so much, Robbie.
All right. Talk to you soon.